long time since I've needed to make a rant video, but I am actually quite annoyed. The Ultimate Fighter, which is arguably one of the biggest forces that have helped the UFC become mainstream, not just inside the US, but outside as well, is now in its 12th season. You know, there are a lot of things that I can say about it, how, you know, it's been used over the past 12 seasons as some sort of marketing ploy, and the sort of things that they have let viewers watch and let some of the fighters and some of the characters get away with, you know, has made it unwatchable sometimes. But I'll tell you what really annoys me, and that's that this is highlighting another way in which people who are in the United Kingdom are treated basically as second-class citizens. And I'll explain exactly what I mean. So I was quite surprised that there hasn't been a lot of noise going on about the start of Tough 12. And the reason for that is, it's not on. It's not on any of the terrestrial channels. In fact, it's not even on any of the cable channels. Now, there are plenty of channels that the UFC can choose to market this on. We know this because throughout their 12 seasons, some of them occasionally have been shown on these terrestrial and cable channels. The terrestrial channel is called Channel 5, and although it has never actually broadcast Tough, to the best of my knowledge, they are closely linked to broadcasters in the US, and they are probably open for it, to be honest. Certainly 5 USA, which is a sister company on the cable channel, which is quite easy, would be available to broadcast it. So in fact would Bravo, which used to do that, and I've even seen other MMA shows on bizarre cable channels like Men and Motors and stuff like that. All of the ones that I have mentioned come on the standard package of most cable televisions. That means that they're more or less not free, but they're the lowest cost brand that the majority of people can see your product on. So I ask you, why has the UFC not bothered? And I'm going to say not bothered because they evidently think that they are branching out. You know, they have started doing big shows in the Middle East. They have plans, I know, to set up sort of an Asia division. They apparently have a UK sort of president, a deputy, so to speak, for, you know, affairs, I presume, in UK and Europe. Not that we ever hear anything of him at all. And even if we are lucky enough to have these things broadcast, they're always broadcast late. Do you know, in this day and age, there's no excuse for not being able to broadcast your product in various parts of the world simultaneously. It's outrageous that we should have to wait a week before seeing what the Americans see. And it's absolutely, it's pathetic that they haven't in 12 seasons managed to find one channel that they can consistently put their product onto, which is either terrestrial, in which case everybody can see it, or it's on a low-cost cable. Apparently they do have some deal, I think it's with some sort of Sky Sports programming, which is limited. In the UK, not everybody has Sky Sports, I'm sorry. Most people have cable. Sky costs quite a bit more, and you have to make sure that you have certain packages in order to get what you want. I know there was a time they were on whatever channel it was that collapsed, that was a sports channel, and I had that for a little bit, and I was actually paying out extra to have that as part of my channel, just so that I could see some of these things. And you know, there's no qualms now. We're saying, oh, the UK people get all the pay-per-views for free the day after, because we don't, and we haven't had that sort of thing on Bravo for a very, very long time. And frankly, considering we are so far away, and considering whenever they set up UFC events over here, we always have either mostly British fighters, or we have the same Americans time and time again. I don't know how many times Rich Franklin and Matt Hughes have been over here. You know, it's the same people. And I don't know if they're sort of, you know, cutting on costs or what, but it is really annoying for somebody like me, particularly because one of the things I do best is videos, and one of the things that is easiest to do is reviews and stuff like that. And there are actually people in Tough 12 that I have met for the first time in a very long time, in many series. This particular setup of Tough 12 might actually appeal to someone, and they haven't managed to deliver the goods. Quite honestly, it's appalling, considering that they're a multi-billion-pound agency, and they haven't managed to do this. There is no excuse for it, absolutely no excuse at all. I'm really angry, you know, I'm so angry that I even went to the UFC site to see if worst comes to worst, I could actually pay to see the videos. Oh, well, they do have videos apparently, but they've gone and hidden all the comments that say the video doesn't work in this country, the video doesn't work in this country, no, we can't see it, we can't see it either. You know, you get some sort of error message saying, sorry, videos aren't available in your country. Well, what's the point then? What is the point? So if anybody does know how I might be able to watch Tough 12 reliably, let me know, because if the UFC doesn't provide, there are other people and there are other places that probably will. And it's up to Dana White, I think, really, to sort this out. You can't expect people to go without. So either you provide some sort of outlet, or you're just feeding the people who will, you know, rip you off as a company and put on your products in a sort of illegal manner to other people. It's basically, with the facilities at his disposal, it is totally in his hands.